On tonight's programme.
A shot in the arm, the hopes for Teesside's pharmaceutical future as Fujifilm reveals a £400 million expansion.
Seeds of discontent, the emergency meeting to stop other shops following House of Fraser from leaving Darlington.
Everything is going to be better soon. We will spend the rest of our life together, trust me.
Dream dates or digital deep fake, the rise of AI scams that are causing heartbreak for people online.
And pressure valve. Newcastle's travelling support show Eddie Howe some love after a crucial away win at Spurs. First tonight, to the news of a £400 million expansion by one of Teesside's pharmaceutical giants that should safeguard jobs into the future.
Fujifilm are investing in Billingham, once the heartland of our chemical industry. Before years of closures, the former centre point of success, ICS's old headquarters, turned it into a symbol of downturn and decline.
Today's opening at that same site is hoped will usher in a new era of pioneering prosperity. Our correspondent Greg Eastill reports.
Watch carefully. You're about to see a phoenix rise from the flames. Burned out and broken down at the start of this century, the old ICI building was a symbol for some that Billingham's best years were behind it. Back in its heyday, it was a centre of progress and prosperity, winning royal recognition for helping make Teesside the capital of the country's chemical industry.
The Billingham division of ICI stands ready to welcome His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh.
Well, today, royalty returned, marking the return of economic success to the exact same site.
It's about to happen now.
The new Duke of Edinburgh here for the official opening of Fujifilm's new massive £400 million bioscience facility on the very spot where all once looked lost. So just exactly how much bang does Billingham get for its £400 million buck? Well, let's don the special clothing and the protective glasses and give you a look around. First things first, let's clear this up. It might be called Fujifilm, but what they do along these corridors is nothing to do with cameras. It's way more important than that. These bioscience laboratories and manufacturing facilities harness natural proteins, cracking the codes for treatments that can fight cancer, degenerative conditions and other rare diseases. They also develop vaccines here for things like COVID. And that is that. A big, super shiny, super state-of-the-art site that's building livelihoods and, crucially, saving lives. But it all begs one question. Why here? Why Billingham?
This place has many, many years of history, and now in particular we are seeing great talent, great ownership, and people that just really want to make a difference in the world.
It's a ringing endorsement of its people, of the expertise in the life sciences sector plan, and of course in Billingham itself.
And if all of that sounds good, it also feels good, according to science graduate Isabel, who moved into the region to work here 5 years ago and already hopes she never leaves.
You know, in this building we're sat in right now, upstairs they're actually researching processes for Alzheimer's disease. And how amazing is it that I get to work in a place where I can say they're researching these diseases. It makes me really proud, and I definitely see this as my forever job.
Who'd have thought it? This decaying reminder of the past, now a proud vision of a new bioscience future. And that investment here has swelled the Fujifilm workforce on site to just short of 1,000 skilled, we're told, well-paid jobs. Of course, it is just a fraction of what ICI used to employ across Teesside. But speaking as somebody who's travelled along here for nearly, well, more than 2 decades, in fact, what's here now says a lot more about the future than the bombed-out ICI building that used to be here. A quick footnotes, if you will, on the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Edward. In case you're wondering, questions around his brother and the Epstein scandal strictly off-limits, as were all other questions. His brother, of course, strenuously denies any wrongdoing, and Prince Edward has previously stated that it's important foremost to remember the victims in the Epstein case.
Okay, Greg, live in Billingham for us this evening. Thank you very much for that.
We're next tonight to a scenario that might feel familiar wherever you call home in the region, the plight of the high streets.
Yeah, in Darlington, they're so concerned about the future of the town centre that a special meeting's been called by their former MP.
It comes after a department store that's been in Darlington in some shape or form for over a century announced plans to pull out, as Katie Cole reports.
Bringing some cheer and colour to Darlington. Julie Robertson's had her business in the town for 30 years, but it's all feeling pretty bleak right now.
I'd say this is the worst. This is the worst. It's very quiet. Footfall's not great. There's a lot of things that are going on, like internet shopping and parking.
Tonight she and other traders are meeting to look at how they can get more people into their town. Sophie runs this accessory shop and wants the council to put on more events.
Darlington Council, when I was out work outside, put lots of buskers on and people playing music, and it was amazing. And when they get the ice sculptures in and things like that, it does create that nice atmosphere. I think that people should definitely use the towns more, because if they don't, we are going to lose them. And there's nothing better than going for a nice day out in the town. Never going to have a day out online, are you?
Tonight's meeting's been organised by the town's former Conservative MP. He claims Darlington is on a knife edge.
Over the last couple of weeks, we've seen the announcement of the closure of House of Fraser. We've seen other small businesses announce their closure. We're seeing the hikes or the reduction in reliefs on business rates take effect on businesses. We also know that the town centre footfall is down as a direct consequence of the reintroduction of car parking charges. So our traders in the town are facing multiple whammies on their businesses.
And there's concern what this all means for jobs. The owner of this bakery employs 40 people across 4 venues.
Quite challenging at the time. People don't spend so much as before. I am worried a bit because in April we're going to have again an increase in national insurance and minimum wage, as well as many taxes. And yes, we are concerned.
So what can be done to turn things around? Traders in Darlington say help is needed and fast. Well, many of those business owners here in Darlington Baptist Church tonight, where that meeting has just got underway. Firstly, let's address the parking charges. Darlington Council has previously said that it just wasn't sustainable for it to continue subsidising parking, and it wasn't a decision that it's taken lightly. The current MP for Darlington is Labour's Lola McAvoy, and she said tonight that the last government decimated the high street and that Labour is rebuilding the town, putting more money back into people's pockets by addressing the cost of living. But politics aside, what businesses here want is action. They're not in competition tonight. They want to work together to come up with an action plan to bring people back into Darlington and make it a thriving town once more.
Katie, thank you.
Now, a man who spent more than 10 years battling addiction says he'd be dead without the help of a South Shields charity.
Yes, Damien had spent years in and out of homelessness. He's been supported by a charity that says lasting change comes from long-term support, not short-term fixes.
In the last 12 months, Emays North East has supported more than 100 people across the region by offering accommodation, alongside hands-on trainings in its workshops, helping people to establish routines and learn skills that they can carry forward into work. Hannah Arshad has more.
I would just turn to drink all day. Then that's why I like it here, because you're giving something back, which has helped me with my addictions.
After experiencing homelessness, Damien found support here. Not just accommodation, but a place that helped him rebuild stability, confidence and a sense of independence.
I've been on this slippery slope for a long time. I've had this addiction, I've had it for just over 10 years now. So, and I've lost everything through it, but just didn't realise at the time. I didn't know where the help were, and that's where these have guided me along the way. If it weren't for these, like, I'd probably be like 6 feet under. So really helped me, give me something to focus on, a goal.
Residents can train in different workshops, such as at this wood shop, learning practical skills and giving them the tools to help secure future employment.
Right, I get a bit of a self-achievement out of it. It's like, yeah, I can do this.
I think it's really important because not only is it about the skills, but it's about working somewhere with other people. It's the routine of getting up in the morning and getting to a place of work, spending the day, whatever it is you're doing, whether it's painting or putting things together, and just spending time with other workmates, and then going home and having that feeling of, I've achieved something today, I've made something. So I think it's really important for their well-being and just being a part of the community.
The charity says tackling homelessness takes more than just emergency support. It's about breaking the cycle.
What we offer is a trauma-informed approach to helping them to cope and avoid them getting into that cycle of repeated homelessness. And the ultimate aim is to move people back into their own tenancies, move them into work and reconnect them with friends and family.
So it's not just about the roof, it's getting your life back. And I'm starting to speak back to my family now because they've helped me with that, because I'm cut down on my drink.
What are your hopes for the future?
So try and get me on business, but I'm easily tempted to work for him in the workshop. You know, they've helped me, so it's like I want to try and help others now. So that's something I'm looking into.
A path towards moving on, and the first real step towards a new beginning. Hannah Arshad, ITV News, South Shields.
The ITV Evening News continues at 6:30 with Charlotte Hawkins.
9 killed and dozens injured in a school shooting in Canada. The tight-knit community of Tumbler Ridge is reeling with mass shootings incredibly rare. The Prime Minister says another one of his key appointments didn't tell him the truth, as he faces more questions and criticism over the Mandelson scandal and his judgment more widely. And the Robbie Williams fan who finally got her call answered 30 years later. Join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
Now, with Valentine's Day fast approaching, it's on Saturday, we're being warned about a rise in romance and dating app scams.
As Hannah Ludlow reports, these scammers can be difficult to spot, but failing to can have huge consequences.
Everything is going to be better soon. We will spend the rest of our life together, trust me.
This looks like, and even sounds like, popular bassist Becky Baldwin. But it isn't really her. This is a deep fake. A scammer has used artificial intelligence to change Becky's real videos, moving her mouth and body to say things she's never said.
Your mind just goes to all kinds of things that you know would be possible with this kind of technology, and it's very invasive and violating.
The victim was Tommy from the United States. Tommy isn't his real name. A fan of Becky's, Tommy couldn't believe his luck when she connected with him on social media. They chatted for months. She even sent him video messages calling him darling.
Good morning, darling. I'm really so sorry about last night.
The person he believed was Becky later asked him for money for medical bills and food, which he sent. When the account suddenly blocked him, Tommy tracked down Becky's real email address and asked her why. Becky told him she didn't know him and had not been the person he'd been talking to. Gateshead-based cybercrime expert Deborah Cairns says romance scams like this are on the rise.
I think people are lonely and are reaching out more in a digital format. I think the volume of people who are finding themselves on these platforms is significantly increasing. So I think year on year there are a lot more users. And I think on top of that is then the use of AI. And I think AI is making it easier for scammers to get past our radars.
A recent survey has found 32% of online daters in the UK have been targeted by a dating scam. 55% have been contacted by someone pretending to be a celebrity or a public figure. 90% of victims lost money, with some losing up to £30,000.
They will ask for money very, very early in the communication, sometimes as much as in the first month of communication. They'll layer up that backstory to set you up for the money, layer it with urgency, and then it's driving you to make an emotional decision rather than a slow, logical one.
Most dating apps now require users to verify their identity, and the government is developing new technology to detect deepfakes to help stop scammers pulling the strings.
The AI technology really needs to be kept an eye on. It should be used for good. It should be used to make things more efficient. Instead, it's somehow letting people make the fake accounts even more believable. And that just seems so backwards.
Hannah Ludlow, ITV News.
Chris joined us in the studio to take a look at the sport tonight. And Chris, it was a big away win for Newcastle last night, wasn't it?
That's right, Amy, it was. There haven't been too many of them for the Magpies this season, and it came just at the right time. Following the loss to Brentford on Saturday, some supporters had been questioning whether a change was needed in the Magpies dugout. Eddie Howe even admitted he'd done some soul-searching himself, but he says Newcastle's performance last night was a great response to recent criticism.
Problems? What problems? A rare away win for Newcastle, just days after some had been questioning the team and questioning whether Eddie Howe's time on Tyneside had run its course. Little wonder that Eddie, very reluctantly, was compelled to celebrate with the fans.
Yeah, I didn't have a choice, did I? They pushed me to the front, and I think then you have to respond. A big thank you to them for their loyalty, for their support, for their support of the players, even in difficult moments, and support of me in difficult moments, and it's just lovely to share that moment with them.
I think he proved two things, really, against Spurs. The players are still playing for him, and the travelling support are still backing him.
Playing with purpose, Newcastle produced probably their best away performance of the season, just when their head coach needed it most. Wave after wave of attack, not from the boys in black and white, but blue and orange. And eventually it looked like their pressure had paid off, only for VAR to spoil Joe Willock's fun. But determined to right a few recent wrongs, Malik Chow drew first blood. Despite a much improved performance, it wasn't perfect. Newcastle was still unable to keep a clean sheet, but crucially they didn't give up. Summer signing Jacob Ramsey rounded off an impressive display with his first Newcastle goal, securing 3 points and sealing the fate of Spurs boss Thomas Frank, who was sacked this morning.
It was absolutely imperative that they won. When you're playing under pressure, when there is a lot of criticism, when there is a lot of negative noise, you need to come out and show something. You need to show some fight and some spirit and determination. And I thought Newcastle had that in abundance at Tottenham.
We are a good team. We can be a great team. We've got a lot of work to do, but I think we're moving in the right direction slowly but surely, and I think it's been a season of a lot of change, but let's try and use this as a turning point.
The criticism facing Newcastle ahead of last night's game was more than just a storm in a social media teacup, but where there were concerns, Eddie Howe will hope that maybe, just maybe, the win provided some reassurance.
So, Chris, an important win for Newcastle last night, in more ways than one?
Absolutely, Helen, yes. On the one hand, it keeps them in the hunt for a European place come the end of the season. They are 10th after that result last night. There is only a 3-point gap to 6th. But it was important for Eddie Howe as well. It's been a difficult season for him in Newcastle, there's no denying that. He has said himself, if he ever thought he couldn't get a tune out of the players, he would step aside. But last night's performance showed that they are still fighting for him. Yes, there are issues to iron out with the team, but because of what he's achieved so far with Newcastle, you'd back him to do it. Sunderland take on Liverpool tonight, looking to keep their unbeaten run at home going. The Black Cats are yet to lose any of their 12 Premier League matches at the Stadium of Light this season, so they'll be hoping tonight won't be unlucky number 13. Regis Labrie has urged his side to make home advantage count, with the chance tonight to go level on points with Liverpool if they win.
We know that the level of confidence is high at home because we are a bit more front foot, and I think it's really important to be brave, to be ambitious, and to use this energy from the crowd to generate momentum, to sustain momentum, and to create danger.
In the National League tonight, there is a local derby. Second place York City face Hartlepool United. Knowing a win could take them top of the National League, Pools head to York looking for their first win in 4 games. That's the sport.
Chris, thank you very much. It leaves us with a little bit of time to talk about the weather,
Well,
Amy.
yes, you'll notice that a member of the team is missing. Ross has gone into hiding because he's so ashamed about the current state of the weather. We're not here to berate him for it, are we? He's not really in hiding. He'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully he'll bring some sunshine with him because it has been grim.
It's been grim. I'm hoping that Joe Blythe might...
Maybe, yeah. Maybe she's our lucky charm. Here's the forecast.
Visibility is clear today, both above and below the water. TUI sponsors ITV Tyne weather.
Thank you. Very good evening to you. The Gritter gives it away. Wintry weather ahead to end this week. Rather wet conditions over the next couple of days, and as colder air digs in, increasingly we will see snow, particularly at higher levels, to end the working week. Briefly drier on Saturday with a bit of sunshine, but low pressure really continues to dominate for the foreseeable future. Driving spells of raining across the UK, and from tomorrow onwards, an Arctic blast of air lending a wintry feel to that rainfall, especially up on higher ground from tomorrow night. Back to tonight for the northeast is cloudy, damp. There could be a little bit of wintriness up on higher ground for Northumberland as that colder air starts to dig in before tomorrow morning. But for the most part, we're not quite there yet, so 4 or 5 Celsius means we're free from frost. Again, fog thickening up in the Cheviots and the Pennines before dawn, when the sun is up at 7:34 and sets at 6 minutes past 5 tomorrow evening. On to the details for tomorrow. For the northeast, a cloudy and damp start to the day. It is going to feel quite a good deal colder than today as that wind moves round to a northerly through the day tomorrow. Increasingly wintry weather by dusk tomorrow up on higher ground with some sleet and snow falling, and temperatures at around 5 or 6 will feel cold. Into tomorrow night, we will see sleet and snow developing and icy stretches, potentially on the very tops of the hills, 5 or 6 centimetres of snow before Friday morning, and further snow showers expected during Friday itself. Also very icy. Saturday should be dry and bright. Bye-bye.
TUI sponsors ITV Tyne weather.
Thanks, Joe. I think we're going to have to grit our teeth for that.
Now we're getting an Arctic blast on top of everything else.
Next is your national and international news.
And I'll be back here with the update for you at 10:30. Hope to see you then. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.